Good morning. It's Kirsten Liebelt. Come on in. Guess what day it is? It's Friday. Yay, we love a good Friday. Come on in. Let me know if you were on the replay, where you're coming in from. I would love to know. Listen, if you are brand new to my content, you're like, who are you? Put a 1 in the comments. I would love to know that you're brand new. You could even tell me where you're coming in from. That'd be awesome. You don't have to. You can just do a 1. I would love to know who's new to this universe every single day, you guys. For you that are a part of this community, every single day we have brand new people stopping by and to see what we are all about. So good morning, Matt. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. So every single day we have new people. It's very exciting. If you don't know who I am, my name is Kirsten Liebelt. Hi, how you doing? I am in Minnesota and I talk about insulin resistance every single day. I am personally 1000% convinced, and Matt, no slight to you, but I usually just, I have a lot of women. That's all. But I am convinced that women are sliding into their 40s. They are insulin resistant. They do not know it, and they cannot figure out why. Their hormones are upside down. They can't budge a pound to save their life. Maybe they have anxiety or depression or a myriad, a buffet, a plethora of other issues in their world. And we end up being that person that's like, what's wrong with me? Am I crazy? What's wrong with me? And we feel unheard. We feel very dismissed, and we're kind of tired of it. And we want real answers. And so my background is that I was raised in an Italian family that had a lot of type 2 and obesity. It was just rampant, right? And very cultural. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about in your families too. I really, really resonate with the Hispanic community. We have white pasta. You've got white tortillas. I mean, we're just like besties, right? So lots of type 2 and obesity. And that was my life. That was my entire life. And so I was gestational with my first baby. I mean, I just kind of started up the gate running, right? But when I was 30 is when my dad died, type 2 diabetic, 63 years old, kidney dialysis, the whole thing, right? And he just took his 50s and he did medication. And he built it up and up and up and up and up. And he had this huge lazy Susan full of meds. And that was my example. Watching my 20s, my entire 20s were his 50s. So my entire 20s was watching him in his 50s go like this. And then I was 30 and he was gone. I had 3 children at that time. They were 6, 3, and 6 months old, and they completely missed out on their very eccentric Italian grandpa. Gone. And he didn't write down one recipe. Who did he think he was? What was wrong with him? So we recreated stuff. But anyway, I digress. So I'm very passionate about this, and I get more passionate all the time. And you guys know this because I get super fired up. I'm actually going to give you a testimony that came into me. It was either this morning or last night. Really fires me up, gets me so excited. So I'm going to share that with you. For everybody who is already always around, you're just hanging out all the time. We do this Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. We've done it for 2 years. We have a 5-day challenge coming up on March 2nd inside of the group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. Hey, y'all, I figured out some technology. Literally, you guys were like, I can't see the stuff that's on the bottom because of the closed captioning or whatever. They literally just informed me this morning when I came on this StreamYard thing. Sorry, Instagram, it's not for you guys. But they just told me this morning that I could do a ticker and I could put it at the top of my page. Look at me. I'm so tech savvy now. So here, 5-day challenge. I'm going to put that up there on the ticker. 5-day challenge. It's in the group Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. You just give your email, tell them Kirsten sent you, get in the group. It's free. You don't have to sign up for anything. Okay. That might be super annoying. So I'm not going to keep that up there forever. I'm like, wow, that's a ticker at the top of my page. Having said that, tomorrow, anybody who is interested in advancing your sleep. If you have struggles with your sleep, we've got a free masterclass going on tomorrow in that group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women at noon Central. Free masterclass, right? So it's going to be my business associate and myself. She's a cosmetologist and has a lot of background in some alternative things. And we're going to teach you not just the deep dive into supplementation for your sleep, but also like you're going to walk away with like tips and tricks. So you'll have an opportunity to kind of hear all of that in a little capsule of information and just walk away blessed with a little bit of information. So there you go. All right, those are like the housekeeping notes for today. If you are on the replay, let me know. Hit subscribe if you're on YouTube, please. Like, it is so beneficial to get more information out. If you're on the Facebook Live or you're on Instagram, hit the like button or something. Do something, because then it's the algorithm, right? It's the algorithm. So, all right, here we go. I'm going to actually take that off now. There we go. Who's on with me today? I'm so excited. This is so fun. Okay. We have, oh my gosh, tons of people. Patty, good morning, sweet lady. Good to see you. Very good to see you. Sue from Posen, Michigan. Jody, good morning. Julie, morning and welcome. New peeps, you are going to absolutely love Kirsten. Julie, I think I love you more right now. That is so nice of you. Thank you. Thank you. Joan, she says, good morning, Coach Kirsten. Joan, you're so much fun. Peggy, yo. I like that. Yo, Megda. Oh, Megda. Yay. Good morning. Happy Friday. And Joan, yes, big deal. I know you're probably talking about the sleep clinic. Good morning, Susan. Oh my gosh, you guys, we got people over on Instagram too. We can't forget our Instagram people. Geraldine, the gang's all here. So today, this is what I want to do. Yesterday, remember, we did like a whole session on insulin and fat loss. No, sorry. Yesterday we did anxiety and insulin resistance. Before that, we did insulin and fat loss. Today, I want to do kind of the other side to the whole insulin. And I do want to talk about, we've done this once before. I want to talk about leptin, the other hormone, because there are, remember, the good news is that your body was so fearfully and wonderfully made, and that it fights to function. God made you so that your body was created to heal. Your body was created to function. It was created to flow, and everything is connected. So when you and I talk about the matrix and how the medical matrix has us looking at silos of information, you go to this doctor and get a prescription for this, and then you go to this doctor and you get a prescription for that. Let's make it a little more even specific. You go to your OBGYN to get a prescription for, well, gosh, that's a tough one because that could be a lot of different things. But let's say any of the symptoms that we talk about, whether you're going to your endocrinologist or you're going to a doctor to get an antidepressant or an anti-anxiety, or you're going to a gastroenterologist because you've got digestive issues, or you're going to maybe a heart doctor because you have high blood pressure, or you're going to your GP. Everybody is a different silo. That's my whole point. Okay. And I'm not against doctors at all. I share my perspective. I'm not a doctor, so these are just my own opinions, okay? There's nothing official here. We're just having coffee. Grab your coffee, grab your tea. We're just friends having a cup of coffee, okay? Okay, so you go to different doctors to get a different conversation, to get another prescription. And you maybe have 5 or 6 things that you're doing at one time, sometimes, right? I'm here to say, hold on just a second. This is where I woke up, watching my dad, his health declining, dying at 63, type 2 diabetes. What do you mean he's on all these meds and he's dead? Like, I don't get it. I don't understand. What's the matter with this picture? That was me. And so I kind of shelved that in my brain. And I went through my 30s and I raised my kids and we ate everything white. And I became a major sugar addict. And I just took my insulin resistance to new heights until I was 50 years old. And I was a 2X in size. And I was then diagnosed pre-diabetic. So I just was like on the freight train of weight gain, as we like to say. And that basically, here's my before picture when I was about 2X in size. Okay, there we go. My hair is shiny though, looks good. Freshly colored, I'm sure. And So I'm on this trajectory of type 2 diabetes, just like my family, et cetera. And I'm realizing that I want to take a different path. And I'm asking a lot of questions. And so when it comes to the medical matrix, I feel like we have been given such poor information for over 50 years now. I'm kind of done with that whole thingamajigger. Now, the only reason why I can say that is because we're not talking about something that's terminal, right? It was never meant to be terminal anyway. Okay. I mean, long term, not taken care of, not a good result. My dad is the example of that. However, average person like myself, diagnosed pre-diabetic, I did not take the path of medication like he did. I took the path of supplementation. I always talk about that every day. And I traded out my food ingredients. And now I'm the only person in my immediate family that has avoided type 2 diabetes. I've lost 3 sizes and I've kept them off in my 50s. So I just took back my own health, and it's what you guys are doing. It is so inspiring to hang out with women who are intentional with their life, who say, I'm not going to take it anymore. And if for over 50 years, if for over a freaking half of a century, they've given us bad advice, something tells me I'm going to maybe think of life a different way. I think I'm going to do something different with my non-terminal diagnosis. And I really want to point that out, because if you had a terminal diagnosis, your protocol, I would not be talking to you, right? Because your protocol would be pretty intense, right? You'd have a team of doctors, maybe you'd go to a treatment center, you'd have different things, you'd be looking at trials, stuff like that, right? That's not this. So the sooner you realize that this actually isn't rocket science, you were just given some really bad information from the powers that be, in my opinion. It doesn't have to be your opinion. And you can turn it around all by yourself because you are smart enough. You know how to assess your body, especially women. You knew exactly what was happening. Well, you might have questioned it, but I'm just saying, like, we learned how to be very intuitive with our bodies from a very young age, right? We knew when something was going to happen. We knew when, maybe we were cramping or whatever. We were paying attention to all of our symptoms. We can do this again. I'm 61 now. I was in my early 50s when I showed you that picture. But I'm going to read you a testimony this morning, because this is exactly what gets me it gets so fired up. Because again, it's like, we have to say we are done. We have to be that way inside of ourselves. Like, no, I am not going to take that advice anymore. It doesn't mean that you don't follow instructions. It doesn't mean that you don't, like when you guys get off of all of the medications that you get off of, you're not doing it with me. You're doing it with your doctor, right? Like, we have to be realistic, but you're still getting off of all your meds. Isn't this a good life, right? So Shannon says, how is everyone? Julie says she's doing well. Good morning. Happy Friday, Shannon. Susan, good to see you. Excellent. Okay, this is so fun. All right, so here's the testimony, and then we're going to talk about leptin, which is the other hormone that it's playing a piece in your journey. And this will help you for anybody who feels like you've not had results like you want, or you've stalled out. So that's who this is going to help today. So here's the testimony. I'm going to move this. Pray that I don't do anything weird to my microphone. There we go. All right. I'm a fairly new follower, about 6 weeks, and I started the Total Body Reset in January. I was diagnosed with type 2 last May with a glucose reading over 10. So that must mean an A1C, right? And through exercise and eating changes, I brought it down to a 6. Praise the Lord. That's amazing. This sounds a little similar to not the numbers, but the process. So she started with food. Terry did the same thing. However, I had been stuck there and at the same weight since September. You see what I'm saying? If you're stuck. This is for you. Since starting the total body reset and switching out foods, my fasting glucose has dropped from 114 to 120 down to 89 to 94. And my post-meal numbers are now staying under 150. My doctor just lowered my medication to 500 milligrams with the goal of being off of it at my 3-month checkup. I'm so grateful for your content. You've saved me countless hours of research, and you are absolutely right. No one really explains insulin resistance, gut health, liver health, hormones, and how it all connects. I'm finally seeing the scale move down 4 to 5 pounds and feel like I'm heading in the right direction again. Thank you so much. That fires me up. She took control all by herself. She didn't need anything that I had to offer at the time. She was making strides all on her own. So she was committed internally, right? This is very exciting. And there's nothing more important than getting those numbers down. She needed that A1C. 10 is too high, right? Like I had a customer who she didn't even know she was type 2, and she had a stroke and her A1C was a 13. And she didn't, that's how she found out that she was type 2. She had a stroke. And she worked with her doctors for 3 years straight with meds and everything. And she got her A1C down to in the 6s, but she could not get down those morning sugars like at all after 3 years. And she was super frustrated. And she started with me. This was, she started with me, and within this was in 2.5 months. So for 2.5 months, after 2.5 months, her morning sugars dropped by 30 points. And that dawn phenomenon can be kind of stinky. I'm just saying. And she lost 14 pounds in 2.5 months after three years with her doc. So I'm just telling you, when you start to treat your body a certain way so that you can actually deal with the inside systemic conversation, you can actually produce a different result. So let's get on to producing a different result today for you. So you can walk away for the weekend and have things that are put into your coffers to help you move forward. Hi, Luana. Good to see you. Woohoo. Such a party. You guys are so fun. Okay. So sometimes fat loss can just feel super hard. And, I know I was the turtle. I was the slow person. And I, the question came the other day, did I have setbacks and whatever? And I'm like, for years, it just is, because you're dealing with your mental piece of the puzzle. You're dealing with your traditions, your memories, you're dealing with your emotions, you're dealing with a lot of stuff. Right. And so I was the turtle. I was the one, me losing my 3 sizes. That didn't happen overnight for me. It took me 3 to 4 years just to trade out my foods. Right. But leptin is a hormone that is maybe a missing link for a lot of you. And so let's just chat about it and see how this works for you. Okay. So if you've noticed that the more you diet, the more you think about food. I think that might be all of us. The less you eat, the hungrier you feel. That's usually true, right? The harder you push, the less your body responds. That is not weakness. It's not a lack of discipline. Sometimes it is leptin, and nobody kind of really talks about leptin. And this is just another layer to help you understand how well-rounded this conversation is. It's connected, but that should also encourage you to feel like, okay, there are other layers that I can be paying attention to and implement. Okay. So we talk a lot about insulin, and we should, right? Because insulin decides whether or not you store fat, whether your blood sugar stays stable, whether fat burning is turned off. Like, that's so dang frustrating if your fat burning switch is turned off. But leptin is different. So leptin hormone decides whether your brain feels safe, whether hunger gets turned down, and whether stored fat can be released. So we need it to get released out of the body. So insulin is about storage, and leptin is about permission. Okay, so we've got 2 different things going on here, but you have to have both working. That's the deal. So why this matters for women who are like over 40. Leptin is produced by your fat cells. So in theory, if you have more body fat, you should have more leptin and feel less hungry. But here's the issue. So there's a little caveat in there. Most women struggling with weight don't have low leptin. They actually have leptin resistance. It's just like you don't have low insulin, you have insulin resistance. Your cell is resistant to insulin. So you actually have high insulin, and that's keeping your fat storage going. It's like store fat, store fat, store fat, because you have high insulin, and that's what happens. But if you could stop being resistant inside of the cell and get the cell to absorb the insulin, you could stop the storing. Okay, does that make sense? So your body is producing the hormone, but your brain can't hear the message. So it's like la, 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 la. And that's the frustrating part. So the brain thinks we're starving. We're hungry. We are starving. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Even when you're not, even when you've eaten, your brain says you're hungry. Okay. So when your brain thinks you're starving, it will, these are the pieces, slow down your metabolism, increase your cravings, protect your belly fat, dang it, and make fat loss nearly impossible. So it's like, this is why we have to get the inner systems. We don't have to understand every single piece of every little hormone. And I mean, I give you the information, but you don't have to study it and know it like it's, the back of your hand so you can test on it. You just have to know that your body needs to continue to create proper hormones and then continue to use them and be sensitive inside of your cellular structure to make everything happen. That's really kind of what this is all about. That's why all I ever talk to you guys about is your liver, your gut, your liver, your gut, your liver, your gut, because that system inside of you is what is making it so that you can clear insulin, clear estrogen, clear cortisol, regulate your blood sugar, do all of the things, create more GLP-1, do the dance. Do the things, make your cells more sensitive, so they can take in. And not everything is so dang resistant and like that roadblock, that nope, you're not getting through. No, you're not doing it. And then your body's like, okay, hold on. We need a backup plan. And then we maybe store the fat or we stop listening. We do all of these things, right? So then fat loss is like, out the window. This is where this stuff connects. So chronic high insulin increases your inflammation. This is why you're inflamed. Disrupts your brain signaling and interferes with your leptin receptors. That's what high insulin is doing. And remember how you end up with high insulin. Okay, so hold on. Shannon says, my metabolism is already slow due to thyroid disease, even taking meds. Yep. I know. And thyroid meds are stinky. Yes, I know. But again, those thyroid hormones, they're converted in the liver. So there's always a base systemic conversation to be had. So if you have chronic high insulin, and yes, food, we talk about food. So if you eat a lot of food that gives you a lot of fuel, meaning a lot of sugar in your blood, you're going to have higher insulin to take care of that fuel to try to get it into your cell. But when your cell door is closed, it goes into storage mode. So that's one way you have high insulin. But as we know, you can have high insulin because you have high stress. You can have high insulin because you're not sleeping. That's why I'm doing a sleep clinic tomorrow. If you're not sleeping, you've got to fix your sleep. You've got to find a way to get your cortisol down. You've got to find a way to get your sleep going. It's no longer okay for you to just think in your head, oh, it's just my menopause. Oh, it's just my perimenopause. Oh, it's just my postmenopause. Oh, it's just no, this is not supposed to be normal. And the reason why I know that we all thought it was normal is because that's how we all treat it as women. Well, I'm over 50 now. I just don't sleep anymore. Like, what? No, we need to restore. We need to heal. We need to move forward. We've got to get our hormones working again. Having good sleep is a part of that plan. So there are other reasons why your insulin could be high. But nonetheless, when your insulin is high, which is a hormone, you have high inflammation, you have disrupted brain signaling, and you're interfering with your leptin receptors. Okay, so now, Now that you have high insulin and it's storing fat and leptin not allowing it to be released, that's a metabolic trap. That's a metabolic trap. And this is why calorie cutting only backfires. This is a tough conversation to have because we have been marketed to by our own medical system. Literally, you guys, by our insurance companies. By our insurance companies. Eat less, move more, right? By our own government. Calories, and I'm not saying it's even a bad thing, but calories are literally on everything. I had somebody from another country say, this has nothing to do with hormones. It's all only about calories. And I thought, see, that conversation needs to change. Because this is why, like, oh my gosh, this is why we can have a testimony of somebody saying that her sugars are down and now she's starting to lose weight. Like there's a correlation. So it's a hormonal and a cellular conversation. We've got to stop this old information. For 50 years, they've done this to us. For 50 years. And we are fatter than we've ever been, sicker than we've ever been, more medicated than we've ever been. Stop it. Stop it. Instead, now we, me, you, we're going to take our car and we're going to get our body detailed. We're going to get our car detailed from the inside out. We're no longer going to put up with Band-Aids or bad information because they're just going to run with the new level of marketing that they can run with. We're not going to do that anymore. You know, I understand that the food pyramid changed, but so did the marketing overnight. Overnight. The day that came out, you know that they were like, okay, we're going to the printing presses. We're going to be up all night creating new packaging for everything that we have on the shelves. Now we're going to say that everything that's trash is actually high in protein and now it's healthy for you. Go ahead. Everything that has a barcode, a box, and a bag, let's go. They're just going to market it to you in a new way. That's all they're going to do. You and I are going to do this differently. And we're going to get different results. And then we're going to like feel good. We're going to actually go into an office and go, oh, my labs got better. Yes, I'm winning. That's what we're going to do. Extreme dieting raises your stress hormones, raises your cortisol. It lowers your metabolic rate. It makes leptin signaling worse. You need leptin hormone signaling working. The body goes into protection mode. So leptin resistance, and this is what it feels like. You're hungry 1 to 2 hours after eating. You don't feel satisfied even with a healthy meal. It's a big one, you guys. So when I get up and I have my breakfast and I've got my protein going and all that good stuff, I think I had 40 grams of protein this morning. Protein that did not spike my sugars, not protein from grains and legumes, protein from eggs, chicken sausage, and Oikos Greek yogurt. 000 Greek yogurt because it's sweetened with stevia. 40 grams. I will feel full and I will feel satiated. If I had leptin resistance, I would feel hungry, even though I just had that nice, satiating, nourishing meal that had protein and fats. I would be hungry within 1 to 2 hours. That's not the case, right? But if you're leptin resistant, you would. You don't feel satisfied with that healthy meal. You think about food constantly. You crash mid-afternoon. Your belly fat feels glued on. You gain weight eating the same amount you used to. It's not aging. It's hormone miscommunication. We do not have to receive this. If it was only ever about aging, then I would not have customers in their 70s losing the weight that they lose. It wouldn't be because you would say, oh, the older you get, the slower this is all going to happen, or it's not going to happen at all. Listen, 74 years old, she lost 45 pounds in 5 months. It had nothing to do with her age. She finally just dealt with her insulin resistance. I'm just telling you. Right? So maybe you gain weight when you eat the same amount, and that is so frustrating. Remember the testimony that I had the other day? I'm not going to look it back up, but she said, I stopped gaining weight. And that really, really like made me remember that was my first sign, because I was doing this. I was not just a 2X stable. I was a 2X on my way to the next size. And the first thing that happened to me was I stopped, I capped it. And I remember, I remember going, this is interesting. And I kind of then moved on. I mean, I didn't really assess it. I just noticed it. I'm like, dang, that's really good help. That's really nice, because it doesn't feel good to keep on gaining, right? So, leptin improves when, here's your answer now. Okay. So here's your answer. You eat the same breakfast. You eat that same breakfast every morning too, Patty? I know. You actually told your endocrinologist that we are literally one big hormone walking around. Yes, we are. But it's just because, you guys, the design, God's design, we were meant to super fire and super function and like be super integrated. Like, we are not a one shallow perspective of a being. We're like made so amazing. Just think about it. Okay. So obviously I'm a Christian and I believe that we're made in the image of God, right? Well, if you're made in the image of God, don't you think that like you're pretty freaking amazingly made? Like, they're still trying after all of these, thousands and thousands of years to create robots. And those robots will be able to do certain things. And I get that, like will have function, but they're not made in the image of God like our bodies are. They're just a bunch of nuts and bolts and wires and whatever. We're hormones and different like levels, and we have receptors, and we have like so many things that everything depends upon each other. And that's why there is no simple, I don't want to name products all because I really don't know about the product. I just know the name. You're just going to go to the store and you're going to take this one pill, hydroxy, blah, blah, blah. That's all you need. That's like some kind of a Band-Aid. I don't even know the ingredients, so I shouldn't even bring it up. But I can talk about Metabolife because I took that in my 30s, and it was banned by the FDA because of ephedra. It's a scary ingredient. Apparently they make bad drugs out of it. Anyway, and so that got banned, but that was for your metabolism. It was just over-the-counter speed is all it was. But that was a one little tiny layer concept of, we're just going to squelch your hunger by giving you speed. And so we're just going to, like take away your hunger, and we're going to like make you a little like, yeah, so that you can like get more stuff done and burn more calories. Very, like that's not helpful, right? That's an external application. That's an external Band-Aid. Like you open up the wrapper of the Band-Aid and you take off the little white things and you put that Band-Aid on your skin. Now you have done something external like that to just try to affect one little layer of a shallow conversation. That is not a system overload. That's not my word. What's my word? Like when you turn something over. It's not a system, being like detailed, like the engine of your car. It's not doing that. It's not getting from the inside out. Okay. That's what we're doing. There we go. Anyway, that's so funny. Marla says we are. You guys are hysterical. Okay, so leptin will improve when insulin comes down. Gotta get your insulin down. Liver. Blood sugar stabilizes. Liver. Inflammation decreases. Gut. Gotta get your gut taken care of. The liver processes hormones efficiently. When your liver processes your hormones efficiently, your leptin can improve. Your nervous system feels safe. This is why, like even tomorrow at that sleep clinic, that little masterclass thing, magnesium is going to be a conversation. Get that nervous system feeling safe again. Overhaul. Thank you. That's the word, overhaul. Like you have to overhaul your system Oh, you're so helpful. Thank you. I like that. Thank you. Thank you. And when your sleep improves, so your insulin comes down, your blood sugar stabilizes, your inflammation decreases, your liver processes your hormones efficiently, your nervous system feels safe, your sleep improves. Leptin is very sensitive to sleep disruption. Dang it anyway, right? Stinky. One bad night of sleep can temporarily impair leptin and increase hunger the next day. It's documented. It's documented. Leptin responds to safety. Just the way that it is. So insulin, if insulin says store the energy, meaning keep the fat around, leptin says it's safe to use the energy. If your body doesn't feel safe, it will not let go. And it's that whole dramatic conversation, but it's just true. It's the way that it views it. That's why so many women say, I'm doing everything right and nothing is happening. Or, I'm trying so hard. But it's about restoring the signals. You're trying to get your wires to match back up again. You're trying to get everything to start firing and receiving. And if it's doing this is what you're trying to restore by bringing down your inflammation in your gut, by getting your liver function up. You're getting that internal engine roaring again. It's the whir of the engine. And that's what you're trying to do. You're overhauling that system. Thank you for that word, right? So if you're feeling like you're hungry, even when you shouldn't be, and you know the difference between feeling hungry and I'm stressed and I'm going to sit and eat. You know the difference, or at least pay attention to that difference. You're storing fat even when you eat less. You're like, why am I storing fat? Your metabolism feels slower than it used to. These are those pieces. So that's why fat loss can stop even when insulin improves, because you might have this receptor conversation still going with leptin. Does that make sense? Another hormone. Well, hello, Jen. So nice to meet you. So how and what do I do to start regulating my hormones? I'm your 2X girl. So I will just share with you kind of how we do this, because that was me, right? That was me. So every single day I do talk about the two different things that I teach. So I teach food ingredient trade outs, and I'm Italian, and I still wanted to be a foodie. And I do a lot of that inside of the group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. Although we've been having a lot of conversations lately about food and different things that I snack on or whatever. You guys ask a lot of questions like that. But I do talk about food. And when I teach food, I teach grain-free, sugar-free, and legume-free. Because when you've entered insulin-resistant land and you need to back out of it, which you can, you have to tamp down the things that got you into the pickle to begin with. So I give you tons of resources. That's all free. All that content is free. Tons of resources like from Maria Emmerich or All Day I Dream About Food, because they give such really good creative ingredient trade outs. Like they've done the recipe, testing or whatever, so that they can very much make a difference in like how good everything is turning out. The second thing that I teach is the total body reset. And I will go through that with you right now. It's 6 pieces, and it's dealing with your liver, your gut, your insulin. Like this is very, very helpful. And I will tell you that, the most recent testimony that just came in was, she was just saying that even though she started with her food last May and she got her A1C down with food and exercise to a 6.0, she had been stuck there at the same weight since September. She started the total body reset in January. Her sugars are down from 114 to 120, down to 89 to 94. And her post-meal numbers are now under 150. She's already having a decrease in meds. You guys, this was just last month. She just started last month. You're tracking, right? And she's down 4 to 5 pounds. And so the total body reset is coming at this from a completely different direction. Now, when I was a 2X in size, I started with supplementation because I didn't know what else to do. I didn't think that I could trade out my foods. I'm Italian. So I've showed you that picture before of my 2X size. And I actually realized how to pin that. So that was very helpful. So here's another one of me. This is me at a 2X, okay? So 50 years old, 2X in size. In my head, literally saying, I'm pretty much never going to change out my foods. That's pretty much not going to happen. I could not conceive trading out my habits at 50 years old. That was a really tough pill to swallow. So I started with supplementation. And when I talk about the total body reset, this is something that I sourced for me. And then I started, don't drop the pill, don't drop the pill. I started to source for myself and I started to share locally. This is where this comes from. This is not a company that put something together. This is me. This is Kirsten. And then I just share with other people. Oh, Joan, you're so awesome. She says, thank you, coach. Great information today, helping with the why. I love it. Thank you, Joan. You're awesome. Because I figured that if I couldn't trade out my foods, I could at least figure out how to take some supplements. And I wasn't a supplement taker. So these three have 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity. Okay. This is the one that is being reformulated. So I'll give you, when the time is right, I have got everything figured out. I'll give you the replacement for that. However, 3 supplements that have 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity. You guys are doing a really good job, by the way, just FYI, of grabbing extras. You guys are doing a really good job. I've had many conversations by text with you guys, getting your world figured out. So I'm just pointing that out. So I started with these 3, and this is really where this was the beginning of my journey. And it's basically really, I didn't even understand exactly what I was doing to help myself. I actually didn't get it, but I was helping my liver, my metabolism, my sugars, my insulin. I was doing the things that needed to be done. The other half, that's 50% of the total body reset right there. The other half are 3 powders. I know there are a lot of people that don't want more pills necessarily. So I understand that. But then what I did was, I actually added in, so this is a gut primer. This has 6 different blends of, it's so comprehensive, you guys. It's a gastrointestinal primer, like a full-on comprehensive GI tract primer, just like you would prime the walls in your house to paint. It's already done for you. Everything in here is already like formulated for your gut. It's the digestive enzymes and the pre and postbiotics. You have alkaline spices. The greens are already fermented. And I don't know if you understand that a prebiotic, not just adding trash fiber, like maybe you would buy something over the counter, but a prebiotic is actually a fiber. So having a prebiotic fiber is very nice, sweetened with stevia, etc. But I just put this in a little bit of, I use ice cold water now. I was just doing cold, but now I've added ice because I love ice. And I do about this much water and then I froth it up and it's not grainy or sludgy. And I just take it like a wellness shot. Some people are doing more water because they prefer that. But it's very much green tea taste. Okay. So I've worked with, some of you love it. Like you literally message me and you're like, I love that stuff. Turmeric-y, gingery, it's earthy. You love it. And then there are some of you that are like, I need some tips because it's not chocolate. That may or may not be me. But anyway, I digress. So this is the number 4 product. The number 5 and 6 are the probiotic and the fat burner. So when you put these all together, what happens is you get this overall conversation about your liver. Half of it is for your liver. Okay. So the probiotic, this is just a white powder, 5 strains right on your tongue or in your yogurt or cold food. They are alive. It has stick to the gut technology. It has stay alive technology. Like you have no idea how much product we potentially are just flushing down the toilet. And really by saying product, I mean money. All the money that gets flushed down the toilet, if it doesn't have proper technology to actually do the job that it needs to do, I'm just telling you. And the fat burner, this is where the inches start to get lost off of your trunk. So when I talk about how insulin is a fat storing hormone and it's storing your fuel as fat because it can't get into your cell, Your cell is closed off, so it's going to store all that fuel as fat. It's the fat that's all around your trunk. So it's the belly, it's from your boob all the way down your hips. So measure, okay, when you start the total body reset and you're like, okay, 90-day run, I'm going to do this for 90 days. And I'll tell you how to get some cash off, like really substantial. 90 days, measure under your boob, do 3 measurements, in my opinion. Do 1 under your boob, do 1 on your waist, and do 1 around your hips. And then write it down on a little piece of paper and keep it like in your bathroom or wherever. And then measure again at the end of 90 days. But even the testimony that came in yesterday, basically what she said was that her trunk is disappearing. She's only been on it for like a super short period of time. She said, I'm on day 14. Now this is her. So don't compare yourself. Just understand what's possible. I'm on day 14. I've lost 4 pounds, feeling better, more energy, sleeping well. Hold on. That's not the one. That is a good one though. I don't want you to get confused though. This is the one. Oh my goodness. I think she was on it since last fall. No, she's on day 43. Day 43. And she says, my trunk is disappearing like before my eyes. See, I'm not going to take up time. I should have had it ready right away. But she's on day 43 and she said her trunk is disappearing. That's this. That's this. Okay. And I always tell you, go 90 days on with the fat burner. This tastes like orange candy. Not kidding. Put it on your tongue. Tastes really good. And then take 30 days off. That's the downside. The downside is taking 30 days off because you want to keep going. So take 30 days off because it's a thermogenic. So this is literally scientifically studied for well over a year with participants. This was not studied for only 30 days. A lot of companies will do that. And then they'll just tell you it's a good thing for over a year. And they can see how literally the visceral fat, the fat that's underneath the fat that you can pinch is going away. It's decreasing. And that is the fat you want to get rid of because it's highly inflammatory, highly hormonal. It's no bueno, not good fat. And so that's why you're losing it off of your trunk. But again, on the other side of that, that's why you're gaining it around your belly. And you're like, what is up with this belly fat? Why is that? That's because it's visceral fat getting laid down. So that's what the total body reset is. So six different pieces. I know I'm so graceful. It's 6 different pieces. I'm Italian is what the issue is. I talk with my hands, like, mangia, come on, you eat. This is my family. Lots of hand gestures all the time. Oh my gosh. Tie my hands behind my back and I've got nothing to say. Okay, so 6 different pieces, and that's what everybody's talking about when we talk about these testimonies. And her getting her sugars down and people like getting off of meds and having not diabetic put in their charts. And oh my goodness, there's so many testimonies, you guys. I did not envision this when I started this almost 3 years ago now. This is amazing. So that's the total body reset. I'm actually going to put a banner at the top of my screen because I'm super technology driven now. So I'm just going to put that as a ticker at the top of my screen. That way people can still see it, because you can reach out to me. You can put total body reset in the comments. You could put TBR in the comments and I'll come and I'll tell you, I'll send you a link so you can watch my 9-minute video that shows you me laying it out better than that, because that was super fast and like really quick, right? I go into detail. I do 9 minutes where I explain it all. Or you can go to my site and I put it at the top of my ticker, KirstenLiebelt.com. And it's at the top of the page now, so it's not being covered by captions. Okay, that's for Instagram, because sorry, no ticker on Instagram. But when you go there, you'll see my face. So if you want to not talk to me, because you're like, lady, I don't want to talk to you, I just want to see what you're talking about, you can go right here, and the total body reset is the second page right there. You'll see my 9-minute video right here. You'll see a bunch of free resources. You'll see my story all typed out. You'll see some testimonies. Like, this is a very good comprehensive little nugget, like just a little nutshell. Or you can put Total Body Reset or TBR in the comments for both of you. Instagram, you'll get instant information because I have a little friend that's a bot that'll send you that. And or while we're on live. It doesn't do it afterwards, I don't think. I'm not sure. And then Facebook, I'll come back and talk to you. But that's a great way to find out if that's something that you want to take advantage of and get started. But let's just talk about how you get cash, okay? Let's do that for just a second, because number one, if you already, okay, there's a customer campaign that says when you purchase $150 or more 3 months in a row, they will take $75 off of your third order. You don't have to track it, discount code it, nothing. Like right now, I'm literally looking for a fresh discount code for Zenni Optical because I want to get some new glasses. If you've never tried Zenni, I've used them for like a decade now. I love them. But I'm looking for a new fresh code. The last code that I had is it's discontinued, or it's no longer active. And I'm like, oh, dang it. So I'm like now searching for a discount code for Zenni. You don't have to do none of that. They'll literally just erase $75 off of your third order. That is so not a $5 gift card to Starbucks. $75 is substantial. Now, if you started in January, don't miss your February order, because there's this New Year's bonus sitting out there waiting for you. And they did it for those that started in December. They would get the $50 off in January. And if you started in January, you're going to get it off $50 off in February, plus your $75 off in March for those who started in January. If you start in February, for those who started in January, okay, that was a New Year's bonus. But anybody who's starting now, February, March, April, in April, you're going to get $75 off, erased. You don't have to go searching for a discount code like I am on the hunt for a Zenni Optical discount code that's current. You don't have to do that. And by the time you're done, having done February, March, and April, you are now well into May. You are now well into the beginning of the summer. You're right at that threshold of the summer season. Unless you're down south, then you are already in it. But in Minnesota, we are so excited about May, right? May is like our month because we're like, woohoo, we're going to get a growing season. And we're excited about it. But no matter how you view it, whether you're trying to feel better or look better for a wedding or a family reunion, or, just whatever, photos that might be coming up over the summertime as you have some fun and whatever. Or if you are like so many that have now done this, like they've just rinsed and repeated that 3-month cycle. So now they have a year in. Terry lost her 50 pounds after 8 months. She's kept it off for a year. She's still going strong. She's still, using the products and doing the things that, changing out her food ingredients. You get to decide how long your journey is. I can't decide for anybody. I can't make decisions for anybody because you have to own your own journey. But there's zero risk, 6-month guarantee on all the products, money back. Like there's no risk. None of this 30-day guarantee. I'm sorry, but that's kind of not very substantial at all. So having said all of that, if you have questions, let me know. And I'm going to see, because Marla, okay, so Marla says this. I can't hold it in. I want to shout it out. 6 years ago at age 59, I broke both bones in my lower left leg. Ouch. I developed a tumor in the arch of my left foot. I was told it was inoperable because three more will grow in its place very quickly. Y'all, it's gone. The only thing that I've done differently is applying the strategies Kirsten teaches and encourages. That's crazy, Marla. They can't explain it, so I explained it to them. You guys are so funny. You're not the first one, Marla, that has said. So I told my doctor, listen up, Mr. Buster. So I explained it to them. I can't say it enough. Food trade-outs and supplements help. Oh, that's so great. Oh, Marla, you're awesome. Julie, the Holy Spirit intervened when you decided to actually say yes to trade out your foods, I believe. Marla says, I agree, Julie. Marilyn finally made it. Marilyn, my friend from New York, good morning to you. It's never too late to do right, and I don't have to feel good to do good. Oh. I was asked a question the other day about emotional stability and building business. This, building social retail health and wellness business like I do. And I said, I had to get to the place where I realized that my feelings have nothing to do with what I do. If I run a business according to my feelings, if I take a health journey according to my feelings, that's not going to go very far. It's not going to go very far because I was told to eat according to my feelings. I have to change that, right? So it's never too late to feel. You don't have to feel good to do good. I love that, Marla. Marla, I'm so glad you shared this. So encouraging for everyone. Very happy that the tumor is gone and you can freely move and exercise now. Just wonderful. I wonder what that was, what the impetus of that was. I mean, because obviously we're not talking about a cancerous tumor. Thank you, Shannon. Marla Jones, amen. Definitely. Oh, this is awesome, you guys. Oh, come here, Holy Spirit. I need you. I love that. Yes. Amen. Amen. I love it. Can my husband do it with me, or does he need different? He does not need different home. I have a husband and wife doing it together right now. They're doing it right now together. So thanks for that question, Jen. No, this is when we're talking about insulin resistance, insulin, leptin, cortisol. This is all of us. This is all of us. So yeah, he absolutely can. I love it when husbands and wives do it together. What a blessing that is. It's a blessing for you guys. And in fact, just a little tip, Jen. She signed them up under 2 different accounts. She registered both of them for their account. So they're both getting the $75 off every 3 months. That's a smart cookie. That's a smart cookie. You got to take advantage. I mean, so that means that they're getting $150 off a program for both of them. And all of the content that we do here, it's free. Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Central. It's free. All of the content that I do inside of the group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. Hold on, I'm going to change my banner on that because we do a 5-day challenge. There, now it's at the top. We do a 5-day challenge every single month inside of the group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. And the reason why that's so important is because it's the food ingredient trade-outs that you're wanting to understand or hear about. It's looking at my pantry and my refrigerator that you're wanting to pay attention to, right? You're wanting to know, well, you're Italian. How did you do it? What do you eat? What do you buy? What do you get when you go to Costco? How do you view food? That's the 5-day challenge. And that is like 3 years this June. We've been doing that. And that's free. It's free content. So all of the structure, the encouragement, the group coaching that we're doing, the community, the testimonies, it's all free. People are like, will you ever do a cookbook? I don't create recipes. I could do basic little things. Plantar fibromatosis. What? That's crazy, Marla. Amazing. Thank you for sharing that. I don't, if I ever feel led, I guess I will, but maybe it would be beneficial if I put together something that was like an ebook that I could, sell for whatever and give people all of the information in one place. Maybe there are some people who they don't want to be a part of a community. They just want the information. Maybe, but right now that's not what I think I'm doing. I feel like I don't have any holes inside of this community. I guess if I want to expand outside of the community or get something in the hands of somebody who, like for men, right? Because they want the information, but the group is called Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. So maybe, I don't know. We'll see. But I really do feel like this is very comprehensive. You have daily activity, Monday through Friday here. You have monthly activity inside of the group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. Tomorrow, we're going to do inside of that group a little bonus free sleep clinic masterclass at noon Central, things like that, right? And then it is then your responsibility in the journey is to say, I give myself permission for the journey, and then start your 90-day run. Start your 90-day reset with the total body reset. Assess, move on. Assess, move on. And keep yourself accountable to a process where you're locking arms with somebody, where you're getting 1 or 2 nuggets at a time so that you literally can shift your world. You're trying to shift so that this whole takes 21 days to create a new habit. I'm sorry, that kind of crap. You know what? That makes us feel like then we're the biggest loser ever on the face of the planet when on day 22 we fail. I don't like any of that stuff. I want long-term sustainable answers so that somebody like Terry shows up and goes, yep, lost my 50, kept it off for a year now. That's what I'm going for. That's the gold medal I want to go for with you guys. Like if I can keep off my 3 sizes, you can too, because I want to give you a key. And we're going to do that by let's change the results that your body is delivering you. Change the results. Just like you go to the mechanic and you change the results that your vehicle is giving you. Higher gas mileage and an engine that purrs, right? A smoother ride because you changed out the shocks, like better traction in the winter because you have snow tires on. I mean, I'm just telling you, like we can do this and it's so good. So good to do it together. It makes me so happy. So yes, do it with your husband. Do it. Do it. Hi, good to see you. Rita, nice to meet you. Very good. Okay. Does anybody have any questions for today before we hit the weekend? Anybody? Make sure that you jump into the group if you want to see the sleep clinic for tomorrow. We will do a deep dive into supplementation, of course, because there's a different reason for different people that they're not sleeping. So it's not a one size fits all. But then you will also walk away with super tangible things that you can be doing literally tomorrow night. Things that you could start implementing tomorrow night. Okay. And that can be a little piece of your journey. But otherwise, I'll be back on Monday at 11 a.m. Central right here. Don't forget that if you are somebody who generally orders your order at the end of the month, February is only 28 days. Don't be late because you'll miss out on your $75 run. So don't do that. You are so welcome, Mary. Thank you for being here. I so appreciate you. And if you need something, let me know. I will come back and I will read comments because sometimes they don't show up on my StreamYard. And I'll make sure that if anybody needs information on the total body reset or anything else, I will get that for you. So have the best weekend ever. And I hope to see you guys tomorrow in the group. So set your alarm because Facebook notifications are okay. So see you later.